All right, we are live. I just need for the video to connect on my other monitor over here so I can grab that link and put it in our group so that our community can very conveniently join us on YouTube Live and also in the live chat. Okay, great. YouTube has been doing really good. I guess they didn't change some algorithm. I don't have to fight for this link no more, and I sure appreciate it because I always felt like that was unnecessary struggle earlier in the merchant. All right, let's see here. Okay, we got the chat going. Cool beans. Okay. Speaking of groups, if you are an entrepreneur that is spinning your wheels and struggling to make it to your first six figures, then this morning show is just for you. But if you want to be in studio for this show and have the opportunity and to take advantage of the hot seat coaching to address your individual obstacles, like Heather and Debbie and Teray and Dr. Tachi and Dewana and Shawana and Dr. LaFera and Dr. Toya are currently in studio. This is just one of the ways you can take advantage of the value given by our group. So go to shaycannon.info/group to join us. We come together as a free business mastermind, giving more value to some paid masterminds because we have three pillars of value that we give you. Number one, we come together as a community to build community with events like a virtual happy hour happening this week on Thursday night, and our movie club night happening next week on Thursday night. And number two, we are intentional about collaborating to make each other's businesses better and to make money together. All right. Last but not least, number three, we have conversations that are transformational for your business growth with free trainings and this morning show. So join us, shaycannon.info/group. Now, with all of that, welcome to your First Six Figures morning show. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/pivot. Pivot, because what we are talking about this week, grab that link for the YouTube chat. Good morning, Glow. What we're talking about this week is essential pivots for business growth and profitability, okay? Because if you have been in business for a while, you will eventually come to a crossroads where things may need to change. However, let me stress that things should not change just because you feel like they should change. They should not change because you see somebody else doing something different. They should not change because you figure it's just time for a change. You should be doing things long enough to gather data, and the data will tell you when to change things. Okay, shout out to Leticia Austin, who she talks about tech when it comes to data changing things. I have grabbed her phrase. I'm telling you, most things in your business don't need to change until you get data. All right, so don't just be around here willy-nilly changing stuff. Work your processes and your things long enough, 3 months, 6 months, a year. Okay, 3 months is the least amount and you ain't getting much data. I need you to know that. So 6 months to a year. And then when the data changes, shows you that there needs to be a change, then we change. Now, this week, we're talking about 4 essential areas that you may have to change for your business growth and your profitability because the data is going to tell you that, okay? One of the things you might need to change is your ideal client avatar, who you're serving. Okay, so if you want more information on what may make you change your ideal client avatar and what makes that easier, go to yesterday's replay. That was part 1. Okay, today we're on part 2 and we're going to talk about the entire business model. Okay, what would make you have to change your entire business model? So for online service-based entrepreneurs, the business model is the backbone of how value is delivered and how revenue is generated, right? Because of service-based businesses, most of our money comes from us providing a service. So that's our entire business model. So, however, as client needs change, okay, as your business scales, gets bigger, right? Your business model may no longer support your long-term growth and your profitability. And let me tell you how this are the problems that we want, okay? We want the problems that come from growth. So every problem is not a bad problem, but every problem is a trigger and a signal that things need to change, okay? So pivoting your business model allows you to adapt to new opportunities, increase efficiency, and better serve your clients. Making the right pivots can drastically enhance your business's scalability and revenue potential. All right. So
she froze for everyone, right? Not just for me.
Yeah. I see you moving, Heather.
A business model is the framework that is transitioning
Ma'am,
to
ma'am,
coaching.
you froze.
Yeah, you froze. We missed.
Okay. Am I back?
Yeah, you're
You
back.
are now, but we don't know
Okay.
what we missed.
Right.
I don't know what you missed either. So sorry. I think I was on the definition of a business model, maybe.
Yes, let's go there.
Okay, let's start there. So, in case you don't know what a business model is, before we start talking about changing it, a business model is the framework in which your business actually makes money. Okay, and I'm looking outside. I'm like, it's a sunny as hell day. Why is we having internet problems? But okay, maybe that's mystical problem. That's mystical problems. I'm all right with it though. But a business model is the framework that your business makes money. Okay, us as service providers, service-based businesses, we provide a service to make money, right? Product-based businesses primarily provide products to make money, okay? It doesn't mean that a product-based business can't provide a service, and it doesn't mean that a service-based business cannot provide products, but how are you primarily making money? Then that's the base for your business, okay? So hopefully that makes sense, all right? Now, on the morning show, we give more. So what I want to talk about are 3 areas of a business model that may need to change. And I'm going to give you 3 strategies for each of those 3 areas on how to change it. All right. So if you have to change your business model, one thing that you might have to change as a service provider is going from one-on-one services to group services. Okay. Because as you are growing, you don't have the capacity to serve on scale one-on-one, right? So you now open your capacity by instead of going to a ratio of you and one other person, you're trying to do one to many or group services. Okay. Now, how do you change from one-on-one to group services? Let me give you 3 strategies. Number 1, start with a beta group. Okay. Start with the beta group, because how you get the transformation for one person is a little different than how you get a transformation for a group of persons at a time. Okay. It's a little different. So we want to test it out. We don't necessarily want to, we know they're going to get some value, right? So it can't be free. You're going to have to pay something, but we also know that they're riding this role with us to perfect something. So that's when we do a beta group. Okay. So transitioning from one-on-one services to group offerings, we need to test the concept with the beta group. This allows you to refine the structure and get feedback to ensure that the group service delivers the same or greater value as the one-on-one services did. Okay. So that is the purpose of having a beta group. And that's how we're going to test going from one-on-one to group. Okay. So that's one strategy. The next one is we need to look at group specific processes. Okay. Now, the crazy thing is when you have one-on-one clients, how they were able to contact you may be different than how a group is able to contact you, right? So you have to look at what are your communication protocols? What are the communication hours, right? Because see, it's when you have one-on-one clients, you might have like 5, you know what I'm saying? So it's fine for them to, contact you whenever. It's fine for them to contact you about whatever, because it's just a few of them. Right. So you really just feel like you're working in a business when you're doing all these things for these people one-on-one. You can't go into one to many doing all of that stuff. You're going to burn out. Okay. The process is different. Okay. You need a communication system where people can contact you between certain hours about certain things. Okay. It's no longer they can contact you about everything. We need to get the processes together. And guess what else? Now for a group, you need to understand there are different personalities in a group, right? So now you have to protect yourself and others from different personalities getting in the way of the ultimate goal of the transformation. You're going to have people that complain. How are you going to deal with them? Because they're going to be right there with the people who don't complain. Okay. You're going to have people who may or may not understand. That's going to be right there with the people who do understand. How are you going to deal with all of these things? Right. You have to think about that. So we create frameworks and processes that can effectively serve a group setting. This includes preparing standardized materials so that you're not explaining things over and over again, or that you're not resetting people explaining stuff when new people come in. You want to get on my nerves, let me be on time, or let me start a program, and then I got to sit there and waste my time and hear you start somebody else. Let me tell you how that, I be wanting some of my money back. Let me tell you, I really do. All right. Did I freeze again? I see it says internet connection. Okay, great. Another thing is your processes, how you now might have to have a process for refunds, right? Now, the more people you have, the more refunds you're going to have. Now, the more people you have, the more you might have to chase people for cards that are not working right now. You have to now have processes that are different for a group, okay? How you structure the session may be different, because the more people you have in a group atmosphere, how many people gonna fit in the Q&A time? Maybe you need a little more Q&A time, right? So we have to look at all of these things. So develop group specific processes. Last but not least, what is the price, value, and the volume at group level, okay? People are no longer getting one-on-one help. They should not be paying the same amount for one-on-one help that they're paying for group help, okay? One-on-one is more access. It should cost more money. Some of y'all need to look at your deliverables, your offer ladder, because some of y'all be like, one-on-one is your go-to. And so you tend to underprice it. And then when you get in a group, then you be trying to price the group about the same as the one-on-one, when one-on-one is very highly accessible to you and should be highly priced. So you got to go back and look at that, okay? But price for value and volume. Shifting your pricing model to reflect the value you're offering a group while keeping it more accessible than, keeping it accessible, but not as accessible as the one-on-one services, okay? So position the group model as a win-win. That means you get to go one-to-many, but they still get a transformation, where the clients get more value for a lower cost individually than they would if they were doing one-on-one, okay? You increase your earning potential with more clients per session, but know your capacity, okay? Know your capacity. If your stuff is not set up with unlimited people can come through and get the transformation, then you need to cap it to make sure that people get the transformation as a group, all right? So volume and price. Now, the number 2 thing that you might have to change about your business model is you might, as a service-based business, start to introduce more digital products, okay? More digital products. So these are the 3 strategies you're going to use to introduce more digital products, okay? Number 1 is you're going to repurpose existing content into digital product formats. Okay, we don't always have to start by something new. Sometimes we can take the group coaching that we have, or the one-on-one coaching that we have, and spin that off into just a different format of getting the same transformation. Okay, so start by turning your most popular or most effective service offerings into digital formats. That format can be an ebook, it could be templates, it could be a course, it could be guides, it could be a workshop, it could be all of these different things, okay, that are now digital rather than you live delivering this thing. Okay, we're going to make it one time and sell it countless times. That's the digital product, okay? This is going to allow you to scale your business without creating entirely new material from scratch, all right? So that's one way we're going to introduce digital products. Number 2, we're going to validate the market, okay? Validate the market. Before investing your time into sitting down and creating this stuff and transferring it from a live format to a digital product format, you need to validate the demand. Okay. Now, some of you can do that by seeing what else is out there. Okay. Because sometimes there are things out there, and let me tell y'all something. Just because something is out there and just because it's a lot of something out there, don't mean people won't buy your stuff. Okay. It does not mean that. Now, it might mean that you need to take time to build community, because one thing about community is every community I'm in, I don't care if 75 million people are selling this or talking about it. I want to know what the head of my community says about it. What is their method for me? Because I want to stay aligned with how I've been learning stuff that's been working for me, right? So when you go into the store and you go down the bread aisle, look at all the bread. Nobody cares that there's already bread. People are still coming up with new breads every day, okay? So don't worry about when you see that there's other stuff out there. That's the first phase of it being validated that people are buying it, because there wouldn't be so many versions of something that's not selling. Okay, so validate it. Now, another way you can validate it, that I am less likely to endorse this way, but you hear it a lot. Okay, and that is by pre-selling it before you make it. Okay, you can pre-sell it before you make it. It's an awesome strategy. The problem with that strategy is a lot of people are not set up to deliver that pre-sold thing on time in a way that won't hurt their reputation. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you don't know how long it's going to take you to actually complete this thing when you have to create it to where it's timely for the people that's already giving you their money for it, I wouldn't do it. It's too much of a risk. Okay, you want to get a whole bunch of refund requests fast, sell some shit that's not ready and you don't know when it's going to be ready. You're setting yourself up. Okay, you're setting yourself up. Lives. So if you, and let me tell you this, if you don't have good command of your time, yourself in time, y'all call that time management. I say command of yourself in time. Please don't. Okay, please do not pre-sale anything, because life for you, because you don't even know how to handle time. Okay, so you are less likely to even if you set a deadline, to meet the deadline, and again, you're going to hurt your reputation. But for those of you that are super executors and hey, it usually takes me about this long to create this kind of product, let's just say 3 weeks, and so I'm going to tell them it'll be ready in 6 weeks. By all means, if you feel like you can meet that deadline, pre-sale. It is genius to pre-sale. It's just not genius not to be able to deliver and have a bad reputation because you pre-sold something that's not ready and people don't know when it's going to be ready. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, now, last but not least, in introducing digital products, we want to automate the sales and the delivery. Okay, automate the sales and the delivery. See, digital products allow us to sell things at scale, but if you still got manual steps in the selling, you are slowing down that process and it's no longer scalable. Okay, so a part of creating a digital product to be a passive income product is to make sure that the process is passive. You're not actively having to be a part of the process to get the people this digital product. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to have an automated sales and automated delivery system. And so to implement automated sales to sell and deliver digital products, you got platforms like Stand Store and Gumroad. Okay, Stand Store and Gumroad. These are two places where you can create digital products, add it to that. It's already in a store format. So all you're doing is sharing a domain or a URL. You're saying go to so-and-so.com and buy. Right? Nothing else you have to do but market. You made it. It's on there. They go through there, they buy it, and it automatically delivers a link to it for them to download. Okay? You have to have that set up for it to be passive. Now, if you are doing courses, then of course you have platforms like Thinkific, Kajabi, even Go High Level has courses in it to manage the purchase and the automated distribution. Okay, it should be set up to automatically send people sign-ins and all of that good stuff. Let them do a password. This is not something you are doing every time you sell something. Now you got to email them, wait for them to email you back. Now you set them up and you send it and you got to make sure they have access. That's not a passive process. Okay, so with passive income from a digital product, we want the process to be passive also. We won't set it and forget it money. We want to set the product as in create it and be able to forget about it. And we want to set the process and be able to forget about it and just hear ching, ching, ching in our email. All right. Cool beans. Now, the third thing, if you had to change your business model that you need to consider is subscription or retainer models. Okay. Because most of our services are set up to where we have to hunt and eat every time. What do I mean by that? It means we got one-on-one clients, and after this one ends, we got to go ahead and hunt for another one. Then we eat off that one-on-one client, and then when that one is gone, we got to go hunt for another one. Okay, that's what's called hunt and eat. But if you have something set up that is subscription or retainer, then you are getting money month over month from the same clients. Okay, you don't have to go and hunt and eat as many clients separately if you have subscription or retainer. And it's also called recurring revenue model, in case you are wondering. Okay, so most of us have a service that once we service you, we're kind of done. Or once we service you, we can upsell you. But once you're done, we got to sell you into something again to get more money from you, right? To get a deeper transformation for you, we got to sell you again. Recurring subscription retainer model is I sold you one time, and over time, you're continuing to pay. Okay, so now we're clear on that. Now, these are the three things we're going to think about in setting up this recurring revenue model. Okay, number one, we want to start with our existing clients. Okay, anything you doing that's a change, that's new, we always want to start with our existing clients, because your existing clients already like, know, and trust you. They've already been getting a transformation from you, and they have the relationship with you where they're most likely to give you grace if something is going wrong with this new thing. Okay, so anytime we're introducing something new, we always start with our new clients. Okay, now, with our existing clients rather than going new. Okay, so offer your current clients a retainer or a subscription, okay, option for ongoing services. Now, I love, we talk to Glow all the time about Glow and her locks, right? Hairstylists now have subscription services, right? You can pay for the year and get so much service. Even a lot of private practice doctors are coming away from accepting insurance because the insurance people are, doing them wrong. Okay, so we look at doctors and we assume, oh, they make so much money. Nah, baby, the insurance people are. It's a whole big thing. And so they getting your money and they're withholding money from doctors. So a lot of private practice doctors have now set up a subscription or recurring retainer model. Okay, you pay so much per month. Okay, and now you can come in for well visits, so many well visits, so many what is it? I guess we're gonna say acute care visits, that type of thing. But it's set up to where you're kind of paying them per month rather than an insurance company per month to get some of the same services. Okay, so if you think that you have a service that cannot go on subscription, think again, because if a doctor can do it, you can do it. Right? If the hairstylist can do it, you can do it. So figure out and get creative on how what somebody needs in any given time, they can pay for that overtime to get the full benefit. All right? Cool beans. So start with your existing clients. This can help maintain consistent revenue and deepen your client relationship by offering continuous support. Okay? Now, bundle services. Okay? Because some of us, our service is just what it is, right? If you get a strategy session from me, it's just what it is. When the strategy session is over, it's over. You got your roadmap, right? So now what you might have to do is add a service to that, bundle something together to make it a long-term service, right? So the recurring model I have for my roadmaps is something you will probably never hear from me, because if you don't have a roadmap, don't worry about knowing about it. Okay, but those who have roadmaps, the subscription service that comes after that, or the recurring model that comes after that, is an advisory cohort. That means you have your roadmap, and now I'm helping you to correct, course correct, and helping you with obstacles as you're executing your roadmap. Because those with a roadmap will tell you, it is awesome to have a roadmap. I now know what to do. I now see my path, but it is a totally different thing than walking the path, right? Come on, our church folks. It's one thing to have a Bible. It's another thing to walk the faith. All right. So don't get me started. All right. Let me back up. It's about to preach. That was about to preach. Okay. So you can bundle services to create a recurring service. So create service packages or memberships that offer ongoing value, such as monthly consultations. Okay. Access to premium content, And let me tell you something, when you have a membership that has content, do not start a membership around static content. That means when they started, there's stuff in there and that stuff don't change. Them folks is going to come out of your membership. Okay. When we say premium content, we're talking about content you're giving all the time. It has to be some kind of value you're giving all the time. So for each payment, they're getting a different kind of content. All right. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure. All right. Monthly consultations, access to premium content, or continuous support. All right. Structure these packages to provide recurring value, incentivizing clients to remain subscribed long term. All right. Teresa, your husband was laughing at me. I'm just saying that'll preach. All right. Last but not least, for some of our subscription retainer recurring models, you can create tiered pricing. Let me tell you how some of y'all, when we look at your service package, that service package can be broken down into phases, right? You service people in phases. You can sell the phases, okay? So Debbie over there looking at me crazy right now, but what we know is the first thing we do is we assess people and come up with a plan. I don't care what your service is, and I don't care how quick the assessment is. There's always first an assessment and then a plan. You can sell that by itself, even though that's just the first phase. You can sell that by itself and then sell the next phase and then sell the next phase, right? Because what we know about most people is if we run them through those phases too quick, they don't get as much value as if you set up those phases over the long term. Okay? So you can set up the phases of a service to go on over a long period of time, and that be your recurring model. Okay. Create tiered services, develop tiers of subscription or retainer options to cater to different client needs and the different budgets. Okay. Now, when we say cater to the different budgets, that don't mean take your highly valuable stuff and discount it. That's why I'm telling you one way is to break it up and sell it. Now, I call it the junkyard car or the junk car method. What we know is if you sell a used car for one price, yes, you're going to get a lump sum, right? But if you sell a used car part by part, you're going to get more for that one car than you ever could have sold it for it as one piece. Okay? So think about it like that, rather than I'm going to take my one big valuable thing and discount the price. That's not, we never trying to discount our price to where we're not making money. Okay? So just remember that selling pieces can be more revenue coming in than selling a whole thing. Okay? Cool beans. Dr. Tachi said, excellent analogy. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. You know, I be trying to make this complex thing simple. All right. So this allows you to capture a broader range of clients while providing scalable solutions based on the level of support or access they require. So this is what I want you to remember about your offer ladder that has a main thing, a downsell and an upsell. Okay. The things that make it more valuable should be higher ticket. What makes it more valuable? If they get more of a transformation and if they get more access and if they get more support. Those three things should make it higher price. Okay. When you want to make that same offer a little lower price, then you take away access, you take away some of the transformation. Oh, that's a middle finger. Then you take away some of the support. Okay. So that's how we repackage things to sell it for less to an audience that may not be ready for the full transformation and may not be able to afford the full transformation right now. We don't give them the same thing. Okay. We take away some access. We take away some transformation. We take away some support. Okay. Cool beans. So let me go back through this. We're changing our business model. We're changing three things about it to be able to grow more and make more money. We can go from one-on-one services to group services. Take a finger down, okay? We can go from just services to introducing digital products. Take a finger down. And we can introduce recurring revenue models. Take a finger down. So we can do those three, all right? Now, starting with Dr. Toya, what I want to know is which one of these could you change your business model based on your data? That would be easy, and which one would be hard, but you could see the benefit of it, okay? So which one would be easy? Which one would be hard? All right, Dr. Toya.
Yes.
Well, I already do the first two. So right now I am trying to institute the recurring revenue model. I've tried it before. I've not been successful, but I'm trying it again. And I think hopefully this time we got it right.
Okay. Love it. Love it. And so, look, I know you'll be here today, but write that down because we need to discuss that so we can handle all the obstacles that you experienced the last time. But I love reintroducing stuff. First of all, let me tell you how I'll take something away quick. If it's not working for me or I feel like it's not working for the people that bought it, I will stop it. Do y'all remember at the top of the year when I started a quarterly magazine? Y'all ain't seen shit but the first episode. I mean, the first issue, because it got hard. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to the point where it was valuable, so I refused to do it. Right. So whoop, I will stop it. But I will look at Dr. Tachi say, I forgot about that. Yeah, y'all was supposed to, because I ain't say nothing else about it. Okay. When I couldn't make that next quarter, I was like, well, maybe I'll do it the next quarter, and then we'll do like a semi-annual. Baby, I didn't make that either. I was like, oops, no quarterly magazine then. I guess this is what's going on. So shout out to Dania, who was the first and only interviewed magazine. But one thing about things not working, but that's a good thing to do for your business, is we get the data, right? And we get way more data from actually executing things than we do from over here planning and theorizing. Okay. It is okay to introduce and start executing something that's not currently working. But what we're supposed to do is learn from it, and we can reintroduce it in a better way. So how I'm about to reintroduce that magazine, it's actually going to be monthly, but I don't have to come up with any content for it, because it's basically going to be a flashback of the month that happened with all the content I already put out. So you see how I fixed that problem? You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to do things and then reintroduce them, but we just have to solve the problems. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Which business model adjustment would be great to add to your business, and which would be valuable, but it might be a little hard for you?
The one that the one I think would be great for my business that I'm getting ready to start doing now is like when you talked about breaking stuff down into smaller pieces. So one of the things that I do for people is I create holistic wellness plans for them, like their labs, like supplements, all that type of stuff that they need to take so that they can have more energy and all that stuff, you know. And so what I could do is have like a personalized wellness, well, the assessment, give them the assessment first instead of like just diving into the program. So like after they get the assessment done, then I create like the plan and give them the plan. So that could be like a nice, like high ticket thing. And then you said something that's like could be hard.
Mm-hmm. Like, is there one of the strategies that you know would be valuable, but you might have an obstacle to getting it done?
A membership, so like a subscription, because like that's still a lot of content that you have to give these people, but they're not paying that much. But you still got to make it look like, you know, like they're paying a lot. And so,
but every membership is not a low cost membership. So why are you boxing yourself in like it has to be a low price membership where they're not paying on it? Because think about it. If you work with someone who is chronically ill, that's a built-in membership.
Yeah, it
Chronic
is.
means it come back, right?
Questions, yeah.
Chronic is not a one time. It keeps coming back. So you can provide that ongoing support.
Yeah.
So look at it that way. And that does not have to be a low level thing. So all memberships are not low level.
Sure.
So think differently is what I'll charge you with.
Okay.
Cool beans. Shawana, which business model adjustment would be great for you to add? And which one is valuable, but you see some obstacles with it?
You actually said a lot. When I'm looking at the one thing that I know that I need to add, and the goal is to have it to roll out for 25, is some type of subscription that I do not currently have. I know I do need that, and that is on plan to roll into 25.
Yes.
Because I do I function by a recurring revenue model. I have to have that. I would not survive without it. So yeah, I got to get the subscription rolling.
Love
Keep
it,
that
love it.
media rolling.
Is there anything about changing your business model that you see an obstacle with?
We're not changing. It needs to be in place better as it relates to automating certain deliverables. So I know that that's one thing that I do know, that I have to be better about automations going into the new year.
Cool beans. Well, Shawana, I think you missed this month's collab live. I think it was last week, wasn't it, y'all? Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
Go through those comments, Shawana, because a lot of people were offering automation in exchange for stuff. So go through those comments. You might, within our group, can do a collaboration and get those automations done. So check it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Dewana Donna. Look, I just be adding people middle names. That's not her real middle name, y'all. I just made it up. But Dewana, come out of the downward dog and tell us which of the business model adjustments would be great to add, but maybe a little hard for you. And I know you've been having problems with adding things that don't make you have to cook. Is that true?
Yeah. So the digital products is definitely on top priority on my list. So
Yes, yes.
and I think of course the subscription is going to be what's hard. And I want to say hard. That's just going to be, a little bit more of a, I don't even want to say a challenge. That just needs to happen.
It does.
You know what I mean?
And I think you kind of got subscription set up. You just might need a different version, because you have people that every time they know that you're going to cook, they're going to buy from you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But
Right.
do you have it set up as a subscription? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, for example, my lady, I mean, I pay her, she sends the menu and I pay with the menu. And you have to, she sends the menu on Saturdays and you have to pay by 4 o'clock on Sunday. I look at the menu right when she sent it, because my greeter would be hungry anytime and I just be wanting to see what we finna have, right? But then I come away from it and in my mind, I'm picking my meals and then I forget to pay. And I forget to tell her what I'm picking. And so she always had to come back Sunday morning and be like, you gonna order? Ah, damn, yeah, let me send my money. Well, I order from her every week. I've been ordering from her every week for 2 years. So she could have some kind of subscription where I just pay by the month and pick my meals by the week.
And that's what I need to do. Really, that's exactly what I need to do, because I send my menus out, but they don't pay me until they get their food. So that's exactly what I need to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not going to pay me when you get your food. You're going to pay me before this food. So the reason why you have to be paid for her by 4 o'clock is on Sunday is because then she goes and grocery shops based on who has, you know what I'm saying, who has ordered.
Yeah.
She don't have no food, waste going on.
Right.
Because you're going to pay before you get food.
Gotcha. Yeah. So those are my two.
Cool beans. Love it. Love it. Teray said, like when you're in the hospital. Cool. Okay, Dr. Tachi. I don't know. Did I talk to Dr. Tachi already? Because I feel like when Heather left, it scrambled everything. But in case I did not, I think I have not talked to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, which business model adjustment would be great for you to add, and which one would be valuable, but you see some obstacles in adding it?
Yes. So the digital products thing.
Yes.
And you had already mentioned about breaking up something that I already have.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so this is interesting because subscriptions in this business work, but they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out a different type of subscription product rather than you pay this and here's the content. That doesn't work as well.
So for you, it might be that, so it's not just tiered pricing. It says tiered pricing, but it's not just tiered pricing, it's tiered transformation too, right? Tiered transformation is what allows you to do tiered pricing. So what you can do, because you know so much, you can start with simple video and take them through those steps. And then maybe the next phase is, upgrading that. And then the next phase is something that you could take to a network to be network ready. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that subscription is a year-long subscription to get through that, or that's a membership or whatever you want to say, right? But to get through all of the content and all of the transformation of the knowledge, it takes the year.
So
does that make sense?
It does. So let me just clarify. You're talking about taking someone from concept to show execution, but doing it in steps? Or is that
I'm
not?
talking about taking somebody from needing to be a video content creator for whatever reason, showing them those three pieces, the lighting, the camera, and the sound. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
could be the first part, right? The second part could be actually some back end stuff where you're explaining the StreamYards or whatever, get into the actual production of it. Right. And then the next is, how do you have a show that is ready for a network to just pick up type of thing? You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes.
I don't know enough to put the phases in there, but that's just an example.
Okay. Yes.
Cool beans. And that could also be something that, your interns could come and take part in, as a part of the value that you give in exchange, instead of you one-on-one trying to teach them something.
Mm. Okay.
So it could be twofold value for you. All right, Teray, which business model adjustment would be great to add, and which would be valuable but hard for you?
I mean, obviously the subscription model. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I think for my audience, the best way to do it is to bundle services. I want them to feel like they're getting a personalized one-on-one service, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I want to be able to give them a group. I want to be able to do group services, but they have to get some kind of one-on-one consultation, because I feel like they need that personal one-on-one, but they also need to feel like they're getting being in an exclusive group. So I need to somehow make them feel like they're getting a one-on-one, or a one-on-one private exclusive experience while I'm doing group coaching. But yeah, in a subscription model.
Understood. So with that, what you do is you give more touch points, right?
Right.
You can add more support, and it doesn't have to be one-on-one support. It can be group support. You know what I'm saying? And you see me do it all the time. I give y'all group support in different ways, all kind of ways. Right. So this is why your 4 clarity lists will work well, because when you know their pain points, right? And you know the avatar, so you can start to create touch points around some of the pain. Right. You can start to create touch points around some of the ways they get into their own way on the way to the transformation. You see what I'm saying? Use those to create more touch points, but those touch points don't have to be one-on-one.
Right.
And you can tier the service in that the more touch points creates another level of the baseline service. So that's one way you could do it.
Yeah.
To give you a great example of that, the way you guys experienced the retreat, to where, it was supposed to be, y'all were supposed to just get group coaching on how to create your own 6-figure roadmap, right? But because we had an intimate group, I was able to go in and do it one-on-one with y'all. Well, it was always intended to be a group thing. At the baseline retreat, it's just a group. I teach the group how to create their own 6-figure roadmap. But a VIP tier would be the people that would come back with me, and I create theirs right there on the spot, right? So, but it's the same retreat. So you got the baseline, and then you have more touch points, more access, more support that can then tier it out to get more money for the same thing.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Let's go to Debbie. Debbie, which business model adjustment would be great to add to your business, and which would be valuable, but maybe have some obstacles for you to execute?
So I like the subscription. I talked about that before, doing like a subscription workshop where people pay a fee a month, and then they can come in maybe 2 Fridays a month for 90 minutes, and we can go through their issues, what they need. If they need to learn how to create content, write a script, I could work with them on that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's harder to sell or whatever you need than it is to sell something that is structured. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they need. When you give them a clean slate, talking about ask me anything, they go blank and they leave you hanging, and then they don't pay. You see what I'm saying? So, but if you can say, this is the framework for how to get done what you want to get done, right? And I'm going to teach you a little bit, and then you tell me where you are with it. You can structure it that way. And they would immediately see the value in that.
So it's a workshop where I tell them what they're going to learn.
It would be a workshop series.
A workshop series.
Yes. And that series would be based on taking them from one level to the top level of knowledge to be able to complete this transformation. And you can sell that series or you can sell the individual pieces. You see
So
what I'm
it's
saying?
kind of similar to what you were talking to Dr. Tachi about with the show, how, you know, if they want to learn, is that, yeah. But people have said to me they don't know how to create content, that they're going to run out of ideas. I was like, that's impossible.
I understand that, but
yeah.
But when you present them with, I'll help you with what you need, they are less likely to buy.
Okay.
Because then them getting value depends on them. They got to do some work.
Okay.
And they're not going to know what work to do to make sure they get their value out of what they're paying you. You see what I'm saying? But if you as the expert say, today we're going to talk about this, right? And you have that structured out. If we go in a year, you got 12 topics structured out. Okay. And so we're going to talk about this. Now tell me your issues with it. It's not unlike this morning show. If I came on this morning show every day and said, tell me what you're having a problem with, it'd be plenty of morning shows where you don't have shit to say.
Okay.
But because I give you a topic and we focus on that topic, and then I say which one will work for you and which one will you have problems with, I have given you a focus to start to think, to give me something to help you. Okay. But as busy people, as people that got a long to-do list, as people that got enough problems, you are not going to sit here and be trying to think about them problems right now so that I can help you. You see what I'm saying? This is not therapy.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of people don't tend to like therapy, right? They like guided therapy. They don't like to sit on the couch and just tell me about your life. They like, where the fuck do I begin? What?
Yeah.
Like, what do I talk about? I don't know. What can I talk about so I can get the most value out of this session? I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
So yeah, that's why we shouldn't lean on that. Put it like that. Cool beans. All right. Glow said something Shawana said she agreed with. And then Glow said subscriptions for both her lock business and her podcast. Keith said tiered pricing. Love it. Heather had to go, but she said she knows she needs to reintroduce her writing program, create digital products from it, and add the subscription that we talked about many weeks ago. Yes, we did. Let me see. Do I have any announcements? I really don't. If you need to get the show notes, there's 2 ways for you to get it. Okay. You could be in the group and get it into files. So go to shaycannon.info/group. Join our group anyway. But it's in the file section, or you can get the morning show in your inbox. You will get one email in the morning that reminds you to hop on the YouTube live. You will get another email in the afternoon that delivers 2 links, one to the replay and one to the show notes. Okay. This Thursday, we're having Fuck Up Night, the virtual happy hour. Come with your drink of choice and get coaching on what's fucking up in your business so we can fix it. Okay. So that's what's going on. How do you get access to the Fuck Up Night? You got to be in the group, shaycannon.info/group. All right, guys. Have a great day. Tomorrow, what we're going to come in and talk about is technology, how to know when to pivot with your technology. All right. Have a great day. The studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2,